welcome everybody to the very first Flash and Dash podcast in conjunction and affiliation with Sports Gaming Anonymous, also known as SGA. You can check that page out on Facebook, Sports Gaming Anonymous. And so, obviously, I'm Flash, and
I'm Dash.
This is Dash over here. And we're going to be bringing you guys content kind of similar to what you can get on the Sports Gaming Anonymous podcast and what you can get at our Facebook page, our videos, and stuff that we post over there. But we're going to be doing things a little bit differently here, where we kind of focus on stuff that's in the news and relates to gaming, maybe sports. We're going to hit you with all kinds of different things like gaming's in review, kind of like old school, new school. We're gonna throw some food reviews at you, snacks. we're gonna do things, like I said, similar but different at the same time. We're gonna expand it and offer some different things, but we're gonna focus on those those areas. So with that being said, see it right here on the screen. We're gonna be talking about that Xbox Series X just announced at the Game Awards. Kind of came out of left field because nobody was expecting. We were expecting maybe we might get information, but we weren't expecting like a whole reveal. Like they showing you what it looks like. That really, I think Microsoft, that was a huge thing that they were holding in their pocket that they kind of dropped on everybody. That was really unexpected.
100%.
So I just want to say that obviously they're going for the PC look, right? This is not
your traditional console. That is not a console.
We're throwing that out the window. Microsoft is like, okay, this is what we want to do. This is the direction that we want to go in design wise, because really this is what you think when you think like a gaming PC. You see you got the vents at the top. This is what we're doing.
These are the steps that we're taking towards.
Like gone. The days was I think this is huge for Microsoft to get this kind of jump, because now it puts a lot of pressure, I think, on Sony to what they're gonna do design wise, because obviously we know the PS5 is coming. But what's the design gonna be like? And I think that's a big kind of question mark, and where things could take a turn one way or the other, because Sony is always keeps trying to pride themselves on being, we're about games, and Microsoft is taking the approach that we're more than just games. We want to be the centerpiece, and I think the Xbox One, which is where obviously it got its name from, the one, we want to be the one in the entertainment, and I think they did kind of drop the proverbial ball with that in terms of trying to be because the Kinect was a failure.
100%. I mean, as much as I did have fun playing some track and field games on that,
it was a novelty thing. It had its run on the 360. They tried to take it a step further with the Xbox One, and
nobody was buying that adapter.
Nobody wanted that, and it failed. It failed miserably. This is coming from Xbox guys. Fail, absolute fail, and this is the big recovery from that, because it's like we're about, it's Microsoft. This is about Windows, PC. This is what they're about, and this is, I think, them playing the long game from the jump, from the original Xbox. This is the long game, and I think this is genius.
Yeah, I think it's a step back almost to OG Xbox days, to where it wasn't about trying to find the smallest and most powerful piece of hardware that could fit inside of the drawer in your laptop desk.
Right.
This is how much power can we put into a piece of hardware that it would allow it to still be affordable, yet not have the restrictions of trying to be on the go.
Correct. And that's a good point. I'm glad you brought up power, because what do you got in terms of? I know you got some information.
I definitely do. And I definitely had to do my own research, because even since the current gen, the standard Xbox One X, what we have sitting in front of us behind this microphone, is Project Scorpio. There was always this word that's always been thrown around and is still being thrown around, and it's teraflops.
Right.
And when you sitting here listening to this, you like, what's a teraflop, boy? You look like a teraflop. Listen, I had to actually look and actually do my research to figure out what exactly it was. And in layman's terms, because it's really a computer engineering thing, so I could spit all the proverbial verbiage at you and I would get lost in it myself. Yeah. But to put it into perspective for you,
layman's terms,
it is literally a measure of computer processing power in terms of, let's say, video. Mm-hmm. Let's go to our current consoles. The PS4 Pro comes in at about 4.2, right. And these aren't native standard locked, because your computer can range in these and be Correct. Approximations. It won't actually get to 4.2, just like Correct. The Xbox One X won't actually get to its full potential 6. But that's what the Xbox One X sits at.
Right.
The Xbox Series X is projected to have almost 12. And in comparison to your most powerful, or what we know as the standard in PC video cards, the NVIDIA 1080, that comes in at about 8.9. And the PS5 is rumored to have around 9.2.
Yeah.
So this will be, unless Sony comes out and the specs tend to be different or can range differently, this would be the standard in power.
Right.
Now that's not the end all be all. Teraflops isn't what's gonna determine necessarily GPU power and how many gigahertz it can punch out.
Right.
But to also be in conjunction with another release for another market, an entirely different market that might not be looking for this power,
right.
To release an entire new console alongside this console, I think is the biggest game changer, to not only go with the specs and the other features that are rumored to be a part of.
Mm-hmm. That's stuff that's going to go over a lot of people's heads anyway, mostly Sony people. But that's, And you bring up some good points, talking about specs and output. I think Microsoft is headed in this direction where you look at this and the power that it's going to offer. And again, I mentioned before playing the long game. I think they're going to the name where the Series X. Clearly, in my opinion, and from things that I've heard, the intention is 2 consoles, right? So Series X, previous code name being
Scarlet.
Thank you. To leave my brain for a second. But there was rumored another console with a different code name, which was Lockhart.
Correct.
Now, and the speculation was that Lockhart, codename Lockhart, was the console that was kind of the scaled down version, the more cost efficient, the more competitively priced in terms of whatever Sony's going to do, i.e. PS5, which I think will still be a thing, which when they drop the name Series X, clearly the intention is multiple models, because whatever the other model, I think they'll probably stick with S, because that's what they've been doing. Series S, I would speculate that's what the name would be for what that Lockhart console. And I think that Series S console will be comparatively priced and powered to compete with the PS5, right? Because this Series X is for the hardcore users. And not just the hardcore user, but the user that wants the most out of it, right? So even for someone like myself, well, I still don't have a 4K TV, right? I still don't have the need for it. I'm a family man, I got kids, but I still want the Series X. Yeah. Right, I still want the Series X, even though I'm not going to use it to its full output now, Eventually, I might. I'll upgrade once one of these TVs go, and I'll upgrade to a 4K TV. Then I'll be getting the full output out of it. But at the same time, I just want the specs. I just want everything as it is. You know what I'm saying? I want the full power and everything. But again, I think this is genius because they can release a console in theory that's designed to compete at price-wise and power-wise with the PS5. But at the same time, say, okay, we got the Series X for, our higher output users. It's going to cost more. What that price, a lot of speculation based on power output. We're talking about $600. I don't think that's a realistic number. Because I think gone are the days where you can expect people to walk into the store and drop $600 on a console. Granted, it has long-term staying power. It has long-term output capability. It's a PC. In fact, this is a PC. It's not a gaming console. This is a PC.
So that's where I'm stuck because I'm like we're getting into these financing deals with our cell phones where these cell phones are literally $1,500 now.
That's true. That's very
$1,500 and we don't even expect them to last 2 to 3 years anymore.
We don't.
We expect them to break.
Yeah, correct.
Like we expect to drop them and use Apple Care or go to the cell phone kiosk store in the middle of the mall to help fix my phone. Like we don't even treat them like they're $1,500. Some of us, okay, yeah, sure, absolutely. But if that was the case, we all wouldn't be walking around with screen protectors and losing our minds with these phones. So where do you price this at? At it being almost, if not just as powerful as some of the best computers on the market.
Right.
To be the first console and if ever to potentially pull PC users, not necessarily away from their PC, but entice them to get a console because to upgrade and get the PC that they want, it might just be.
It might cost that much.
It might cost you $500 to $600.
Already $500.
So why not just get the console? At least just for the time being.
They could try that.
So where do you price this at?
I think, well, first of all,
because I'm stuck at $599. Like I'm going into the holiday 2020, assuming I'm going to spend $599 plus, not even plus tax. I'm gonna go on base and get it probably.
I would say that's a fair assumption, but I don't think it's got to be $500. You can't. Nobody.
But to be the premium console, to be the Series X,
right? I get it because how much is the One X right now? Was still $400?
It's probably $400, but when we was picking it up, it was $499. It was $544 after tax.
Oh man!
Why not something that's twice as powerful?
$600. You told me that, bro. Like that's a lot. That's a lot.
I know it's a lot, but
okay. I think the only way that works
is if you backdoor that the Project Lockhart with
gotta be like $300.
Yeah, the Lockhart gotta be like $299, $350.
The S gotta undercut the PS5 if that's the case.
At least by $50. At the least by $50.
If you want the Series X to cost $600. They got the Series S, quote unquote, or Lockhart will still call it, has got to undercut the PS5 by like $100.
Because they know how much. They know how much that costs if they did this.
The PS5, because now that gives Sony room to say, okay, we see what you're doing. Because nobody's got to announce price.
Yeah, nobody.
When Sony comes with their PS5, probably the announcement got to be
That's going to be E3.
Yeah,
or
sometime around
Sony Play,
whatever their show is, because they don't go to E3 anymore. But it's like
they're not going to E3 this.
So it's like they didn't go last year. I don't think they're gonna go this year. So they're gonna come. If they come in at where they come in at is gonna really determine.
So we're setting markets now, like these NFL players are doing out in the league with these consoles.
Because realistically, we're talking the $500 range off rip. Because everything previous generation was that price.
Right, and it's not like the market has changed.
The PS4 Pro is how much? Between $300-$400?
Yeah.
Something like that?
I mean, yeah.
That's how much. You're talking about $500 off rip. It's got to be. So the S has got to come in. if Sony comes out and say, okay, we're at 5, because we expect Microsoft to charge 6 for the Series X, right? So they're going to come in at 5, which gives Microsoft leeway to say, okay, come and get the S, which is going to offer you the same specs as the PS5, $400. That's where this has to play out. PS5 at $500. Sony comes out and sets the market because they expect Microsoft to charge $600 for the Series X.
Like, I don't see any way that you can put that amount of hardware to where it's...
And then Microsoft, if they're smart, says, okay, Series X $550, Series S $400, which hasn't even been announced yet.
Right.
But once Sony announces price for the PS5, expect to see an announcement for the Series S. Design and price. $400. If Sony comes at 5. And then they could say Series X $550. And that puts Sony into a really bad spot. Because if you can get the Series S with spec-wise comparable to a PS5 for $100 less, that puts Sony in a very uncomfortable situation. And if Microsoft is bold enough to only come up 50 for the X, which is, I don't see how it's not going to be more powerful than PS5, and they're like, well, that's only $50 more. Or if maybe I don't want to spend the $50 more, I could spend $100 less and get kind of the same specs, or $50 less. Either way, the S is going to come in under the PS5 for the same relative specs. The X is going to come up more with better specs. But either way, Microsoft is kind of holding more cards because
there's so much we don't know. but that's what scares me about Sony, because Sony is still, we gotta know Sony is still gonna come with something, and they're not just gonna bend over, for lack of better words. And
they're not in a good spot, in my opinion.
Like, because what, they gonna release the new PSP? Like,
they're done with that.
So how do you compete with?
Nintendo is cornered the market on mobile.
How do you compete with?
Which is why Microsoft
a company
hasn't jumped in.
With Microsoft now going to this Xbox, not just Play Anywhere, Xbox xCloud, to where you can take your phone.
Let's talk about
You can take your laptop. You can take wherever you want and take your games and console with you anywhere.
And then you got Game Pass to go with it.
And then you got Game Pass, and then
Game Pass Ultimate at that. Because let's talk about how, first of all, Game Pass Ultimate is giving you, for anybody that doesn't know by now, which I don't know why you don't, Game Pass Ultimate is giving you Xbox Live Gold, Game Pass itself, right, for Xbox and PC, so you can play it across either platform. So you're getting all those games, and Xbox Live Gold for $15 a month. Or if you catch one of these deals that they keep throwing at, Microsoft wants you to have Microsoft wants you to have Game Pass so bad, they've been giving it away for the past year. $1 for 3 months. Right now, you can still get it 3 months for $15. Right now, they still giving these deals away because it's so much better than what Sony's doing. Well, I don't even know the name of their thing. What is it? Play Now or Play?
PlayStation Play Now.
Play
that's
something.
what I thought.
I don't know. It's trash. I don't have it. I don't have a PS4. It's trash. It's trash because it's not as good as Game Pass.
They're just not bringing the games, in my opinion, that people really actually want to play.
And it's just not as good as Game Pass.
So the fact that
and I mentioned the Game Pass thing because I also think that's Microsoft's window. No pun intended. Because they have the programs where you can pay monthly and you get the console and you get Xbox Live Gold and you get Game Pass. What is it, like $30 a month or something like that? It's something like that. But see if you can pull that up. I'll see if I can. Here's the thing. Microsoft is giving you, like I said, I forget what I think it's Access. let's see if we can get all access, right? Right on the Xbox.com. Xbox All Access, Xbox One console. So 100 games. That's the Game Pass, obviously. Mm-hmm. So obviously it depends on what model you get. So here it is. So you can get the One X Plus.
What? I didn't even know they had this.
Bro.
So this is.
Or the S all digital. So you can get the highest what you can get. All out. Let's say you're going all out. 1X, right? 1X, you get 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate. So 2 years.
0% APR.
Right? You get an Xbox, and obviously Game Pass Ultimate, Xbox Live Gold is included in that. For $31 a month. And mind you, this is a 12-month console upgrade option, which means you're in the time frame now where if you got this bundle now, you're upgrading to the
Xbox One Series
you're upgrading X. To the Series X.
That is insane.
Free of charge, homie. For you just keep paying your right here, $31 a month, and you upgrade. You upgrade to the Series
People
X.
People out here financing Xboxes,
but. And this is my point I'm trying to make is that you're doing this with your phone. Right now, the best phone, like on T-Mobile, the best phone, the new Samsung, iPhone, you're paying $30, $32, $35 a month for it. What's to say, why not do that with your console? $31 a month, you get, first of all, again, think about the value you're getting. Because talking about, for the year, because I'm terrible at math, so I'm gonna pull up my calculator. $31 a month, let's just say for the year, because you're gonna upgrade within the year to the X, right? Mm-hmm. Series X. So it's $372 that you would pay between now and next year for a 1X Game Pass.
I'm mad now.
Yo, this is half what if the Series X legit almost a little bit more, but close to half. So
this is how you make a case for selling a $600-$700 system. So that's it right there.
That's true.
That's it right there. You don't have to pay. You don't have to.
Now they have to start pushing the all access now. That's their thing.
Because I had no idea this even. I in my head. I feel like I've seen it or I've scrolled past it.
And the 24 month that they have you on is $744. Bro, like throughout the whole course of the payment plan, you're getting
that's your Series console. X. That's your Series X, and that's a whole Elite controller if you want it.
Come on, son. So that's Microsoft's thing where they have to push this all access. And I feel like that's where they start to push this all access more. They have to push this all access and say, oh, you can get a 1X and the upgrade, you can upgrade for free, continue paying your monthly, and you get a Series X.
So now, my only concern with this is
how do you beat that?
What
is Sony doing to beat that?
This scares me, one, because now we're in this place in the age where subscriptions are
but
wild.
Even if you want the cheap joint, the 1S all digital is $20 a month. Which means you would upgrade to whatever the lock card is going to be for $20 a month.
And see, I would do that, especially if I'm going to invest.
Think about how much Xbox Live costs alone and Game Pass. And both of these
you
things
can calculate
are in that price.
So what's Xbox monthly? Xbox monthly is what, $8.99?
Is it
12?
Like $10? Usually like $10? For the year, how much they want for the year?
$59.
$60 for the year? So...
But that's definitely not what they're charging per month.
Well, right. I mean, but nobody realistically pays for it by month. Not if you got any sense.
Yeah.
So even if you look, and Game Pass the Game Pass Ultimate is $15 a month, so that's $20 right there. And this is $31. So you add $11 for a whole Xbox One X a month. Bro, come on. People are spending way more. on nonsense for $11 a month. Like what?
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
People spend $11 at Starbucks.
So if we gonna talk about this, to have this and to also be able to, what is it called? Game suspension. We'll talk about a couple of the features.
Mm-hmm.
Game suspension is brought up by Phil Spencer, and he was really referring to moments where you're in a game where you're waiting for your homie to die in Fortnite after you got smoked out by somebody because you couldn't go fast enough. I'm going to go tag into my other game real quick, almost immediately and seamlessly, and not close out my Fortnite game. Not close out any of my other game.
Right.
I can go in. We don't know how many games are going to be able to be suspended at once, but it'll at least be 2, which is more than I would actually.
More than now, which is none.
More than now. More than now, and I think any realm outside of maybe PC having windows open in that way, but even so, to be able to seamlessly go back and forth is a great additional feature that I think that not anybody was really asking for, but at the same time, was like, whoa.
Didn't know. It was one of those things that you didn't know you needed until you got it. Like I didn't know I needed this, but damn shit's hitting.
I would love to not have to close out this application because you can do it with apps and you can do it with the game. You can have your YouTube app open and you can have your game running at the same time, but to have 2 games running at once, and to not have your console sound like it's about to take off outside of your house.
See, stuff like that, stuff like this, again, is a game changer because it's stuff that Sony. I don't want to go full hater mode, and I'm not going to say they can't do it, but this is not, they don't do this kind of stuff because they're not a computer company. They're not a, this is Microsoft, bro. This is Windows. They're like, we do this.
Exactly. And that's what I also think is the difference, and what's going to be the difference in this next generation is Sony isn't about to make a new operating system. Like
correct.
They aren't about to make a new system to where it can be seamless with PC and such. Exactly. So unless they were going to buy Steam anytime soon, because it was still going to be running off Microsoft program.
Microsoft.
So their pockets aren't that deep. So what is next for Sony in gaming if it is not integrating itself with PC?
VR. They're trying to really push their VR.
So, but even to be a step behind in VR,
that's true because
Oculus is operating on its own terms essentially. So PlayStation VR. I'm sorry if you get in PlayStation VR.
I mean, I'm sorry, but not sorry.
It's cool, I guess. At least right now. But we're not in Ready
Player.
Player.
3D, yo.
We're not in Ready Player One.
3D comes in every now and again, and like, oh yeah, and we've forgotten about 3D. Like nobody, it came that big with Avatar, and it was like,
like y'all was not playing video games with them 3D glasses on. If you were
3D was cool.
I'm sorry.
3D never stays. Like it's still like they got 3D in the movies, but it's like unless you're Avatar and the whole movie was designed to be 3D.
Listen, I looked to my right and there was snow falling down.
Avatar was crazy.
Like it was
wild. Like that's once a generation. 3D is not it. 3D is not it. VR is dope. Don't get me wrong. VR is dope. And I think it's got a ways to go. VR is there, but VR won't be there until the price is affordable for everybody. Because you can't expect me to, I'm gonna get an Oculus. It was like $900, $1,000. Like
that's a whole PC.
No. Nobody's no casual to even moderately like gamer is like I don't really have $900 to drop on that. Even though they might think it's cool, they're not going to drop the money on it. That's just not going to happen.
So then what's next? Outside of VR, because VR is coming, it will be maybe in the next decade.
Right.
I would say VR will probably, Microsoft and...
I don't know if that's a game Microsoft wants to get into. Because I think Microsoft, this is their game. Their game is... integration. Windows integration. That's their game. And that's the angle they've been playing. This is what they wanted to do again, I always tell people that when they tested the market from when the Xbox One came out, and they were like, no discs, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? Oh my, the world was on fire. Console games didn't know what to do. Oh, this is the end of Microsoft. Meanwhile, PC gamers had the.
But they've been buying this with pieces of paper with a code on it. Like they've been rocking with this forever.
What we complain about, like. Everything is digital.
Steam. They're laughing at us while we're arguing about whether or not we're gonna have a disc.
Were like, "What are you talking about? We've been doing this for 10 years."
We just had this conversation. I will say this is a disclaimer. Almighty, yo, the if you're getting a collector's edition, I'll stand by having a disc and getting those things and to hold on to them as collector's items for yourself if need be. But at the end all be all, we're moving away from discs.
Discs are phasing out, and that's Microsoft's gig. That's Microsoft's bag. Full integration, Windows integration, Game Pass, digital. That's their. Now, granted, the Series X obviously clearly has a disc slot. They're still going to support the format, but this is where they're moving towards. That's their bag, right? Everybody's got a thing. That's their bag. Nintendo is mobile, and mind you, all this is going on. Nintendo's sitting in the back, sitting in the corner, laughing, smoking a cigar, because they have their market cornered, and can't nobody touch it. Nope. Nobody can touch it. Nobody can touch the mobile market. Microsoft refuses to get into it, and I don't blame them because Sony tried and failed. So I don't care what nobody says. As good as the Vita was, they had cool games, and it was the PSP and the Vita was a failure in my opinion because
two of the same things that didn't work. Dare I say? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this right now. Do you think PlayStation and its pursuit of VR is this or will be the same waste of time and resources as the Kinect was for Xbox?
That's a good ass question.
Because VR is coming, we know it's coming.
Here's the thing. I think no. Short answer, no. Because the Kinect was novelty, right? VR is real tech.
Yeah.
Kinect is what.
Like
Kinect is like Microsoft was trying to do VR without
the headset,
right?
But I feel like that's how it was marketed at some point.
Yeah, it just didn't work. Which is why I thought it was cool because the headset thing to me was just like cumbersome. I was like, man, I don't want to like put this thing on my face. And if you got motion sickness problems, that shit I know is a lot of problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, VR.
So it's like I want headsetless VR to be a thing, which is why I think I kind of thought Kinect was cool, but again, it was ultimately a failure because they couldn't get it to work. Ideally, they couldn't get it to work. For Kinect to work properly and the system headsetless VR, you need like 6 Kinect cameras. You need like 1, 2, 3, and then like 1, 2, 3 in the back. That's the only way that's going to work, and it's not feasible. But that's the only way it could work without a headset. And that wasn't. I felt like at some point in time in the R&D Microsoft, they were like, yeah, it could work, but we need more. And they were like, well, we can do one. And they were like. And that's how that worked out. The best part about Kinect was the voice shit. That was the Xbox on. That was
fire.
That was the only thing.
Yo, Xbox on.
That was the only useful function for
Xbox.
Let's be real. That was it. And they'd be like, do you want to turn? Do you want to turn? Yes. And that's it. You walked away. Like, that was dope. Or Xbox record that. That was dope.
That was fire.
That's a dope function.
That was fire.
That's the only useful function for the system. That was the 95% usage for the Kinect. Was that?
But so PlayStation VR, I feel like has been in the suspended state.
Yeah.
Of complete, where they're marketing has been the same. I feel like it's been the same commercial, just different stuff happening in the commercial every time.
100%.
And then they cut to somebody either with the little blue things in their hand
100%.
or with the mask over their face. But I've never met anybody that plays Sony, at least in our immediate circle, or even in our acquaintances of people that we interact with on social media, that's been like, yo, y'all gotta check out this new PlayStation VR title.
Right, exactly. That's a good point.
So how much is actually being devoted to those resources, to where, and to that marketing, to where people are actually gonna want to buy it? How much is it?
I don't know, a lot. I think it's like $400.
You asking them to buy something that's more expensive than a console?
Dude, they console prices out here. Let's see. Bundle. Let's see what they talking about for the price.
So,
5-game bundle. Notice how they avoid showing you the price.
That's
always a bad sign. That's like when you walk into the store and there's no prices on anything.
No tags.
You know what? This is not where I need to be at.
I need
you already know what's coming.
I need to get out.
They don't tell you what the price is till you start ringing stuff up.
At least with the Connect, I could get it bundled, and I knew that the extra $50, $65 was really the Connect.
Nope. Got to go, homie. Why can't I find a price for this? Anyway, keep going. I'm gonna find a price for this.
So I'm really interested to see where consoles gaming is headed altogether. Because we've spoken about it, we've talked about it amongst ourselves that this is where Xbox has been going. It was only a matter of time before they were like, yo, just put a PC in a box and we'll call it the Xbox still.
That's it. That's what they did.
So now that we're here, now that it's literally a year away.
You can get a bundle for $350.
That's not bad.
I guess that's not bad. I mean, for entry level VR, it ain't no.
Well, what games do they have for it though?
I don't know, some crap. What is this called? Blood and Truth.
They got that Resident.
Everybody's VR.
That Resident Evil game, I will say, I would definitely be.
They got Skyrim for this?
That'd be interesting too. I mean, as much as they do have it for Nintendo, they got it Skyrim on the Switch, and you can use the Joy-Cons.
They got Ace Combat for this. Skyrim. Everybody, Resident Evil.
You gotta buy it again, though.
Astrobot. That bad.
I got a Creed game.
No, this is $20. Valkyrie. Gungrave. Yeah. Gungrave was such a dope game that nobody. This is one of the best games you've never heard of.
You're right. I should have not heard of that.
It was a PS2 joint. Oh man, Gungrave on PS2 was so dope. It was so short. I remember I had it. I got it from EB Games. Took it home.
EB Games.
Shout out to EB Games. Before I started working there, and man. I bought it. I took it home. I beat it because I had no life. I wasn't. I was at the EB Games every morning when they opened up in the mall. I was there at 10 a.m. I was putting in job shifts and I was just standing there. Not even working. Didn't even work there. It was just standing around. I was there so people thought I worked there. Like, you working? No.
You could probably tell them more about they could behind the counter.
So I bought it, went home, beat it. It was such a short game. This was the shortest, best game that nobody's ever heard of. This game, it was like 3, 4, 5 hours long. I beat it, brought it back. I was like, yo, I beat this. They were like, and I knew people that worked there. They were like, they just took it back and gave me something else. But it was just like, it was such a dope game. Like, see, it says underrated gem. Like, this was a dope game. It was just like, you just shoot stuff, and then he got like special abilities with a gun powered up, and you would do all kind of crazy shooting. Like, this was like such a dope, like. And he had like this coffin on his back, and then like once you got like a special move up or something like that, the coffin, he would whip it off his back, and it would just like this. it would be like this huge gun, and it would just like blow up half the screen. Like this game was so dope. Like
a lot going on.
This was like a poor man's Devil May Cry, but like more over the top. And I know that sounds crazy for Devil May Cry, but in those days, Devil May Cry didn't start out as over the top as it is now. It was very like subtle. But this game, I remember, man, I was playing in the end, and I beat the last boss, and there was so much shit blowing up on the screen and all kind of craziness happening. I was so hyped. This game was so dope. Like, oh man, yeah, you do all kind of slide moves and everything. Like,
so then imagine playing that in VR. They just shoot something out of the
console? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's really. This game right here. But if anybody out there, you get a chance, and you got a PS2, or you just want to play something old that's random, look at this. Gungrave, PS2.
Yo, I don't think he's reloaded.
No reloads in this, bro. They got time for all that.
I don't think he's reloaded.
That's why this game was like 3 hours long. They got time for reloading. Yeah. So
that's on their VR system. So that's all right. I would suppose, but to pay another $400.
Yeah, I don't want to pay extra for accessories. Shit like that just to play it. Like, if I need to do all that with my system, I should have bought a different console. No shade.
Like, if I'm gonna buy VR, I'm just gonna buy an Oculus. I'm gonna buy the standard,
right, or an HTC,
or
something like that I can use on the PC.
Which at the end all be all is the only place that Microsoft wants to be with its console.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
So?
Well, all in all, to wrap things up, I think the Series X is coming. Holidays, 2020. It'll probably be somewhere between $550 and $600. You heard it here first. Because nobody's talking about the price. Because nobody wants to talk about the price. Nobody wants to jinx it.
Nobody wants to talk about the price, but everybody, even you, even the article that I seen, they were saying that there's no way that this console can be $600. And I'm like, there's every reason for it to be $600.
Yes, only if the S is like $200 less. It's got if this is $600, then Lockhart's got to be $400, which leaves Sony in again.
Tell me, is Lockhart gonna be like
waters.
A box?
That'd
be just for models purposes. That'd be kind of interesting.
I don't think so. I think it'll be designed differently. I think it'll be designed more traditionally.
I was really hoping we was gonna get the next GameCube, like an actual box, like literally half of what you see on the screen.
I mean, that could be a thing. That could be a thing.
Just interesting speculation. I'm curious to see what the model is. Especially because we don't know what the PS4 is. The only thing that I've seen, or PS5, sorry.
Yeah, you good.
The only thing that I've seen, it looks like a spaceship, got two big ass sides, and then a depression in the middle.
I don't care what it looks like, so I'm not gonna buy it anyway.
But that's the thing. I'm not a hater. I might though. There's no way that I can miss out on Last of Us 2.
I feel you. I mean, I didn't get through all Last of Us 1, but
one of the best games of all time.
That's true. That's what I've heard. That's what people say. It was good. The part of it that I played.
So I guess.
But how many games? I mean, again, and not to get deeper into Sony bashing, but like how many? And now MLB The Show next, did lost it. That's going to be coming across all consoles now too.
That exclusivity's gone.
I mean,
honestly, I would just really like to do away with
exclusivity. Right, we could do that. I mean, like I said, I told you before, we talking about Last of Us, God of War, and I always struggle to find more stuff because those are like the killer.
Killzone's not where it was once.
Really checking for Killzone. Because like they have stuff like Persona, which is dope, but nobody's going to buy a console for Persona. You go to buy a console for Last of Us or God of War. Even as dope as Spider-Man was, I don't think nobody's going to buy a PlayStation for Spider-Man. Like, and again, the same argument could be made for Microsoft, but, you know, Halo, Gears. I mean, shit, if you that heavy into racing, Forza, because Gran Turismo is dead. Dead. Like, Forza killed Microsoft. Forza killed Gran Turismo. They tried to reboot Gran Turismo so many times, but Microsoft was like, we got Forza already, because Forza already had the market cornered, because you had Motorsport and Horizon.
Two completely different titles offering
for two different audiences, offering excellent gameplay. There was no room for Gran Turismo. Sony killed Gran Turismo because Microsoft killed Gran Turismo. Let's not get it twisted and think people were like, oh, they just didn't want to. No, it's like NBA Live. Like, oh, we just taking it. No, 2K killed NBA Live.
Yeah,
Forza killed Gran Turismo. Microsoft killed Gran Turismo. Don't get it twisted. So
here we are in this place where exclusivity is. It shouldn't even be.
It shouldn't be, but it will continue to be so. But again, we're only talking about less than a handful of titles, and now we're even at a point where cross-platform play is happening. So, the little shit pops up on Modern Warfare that tells you that you are now,
and that's the only end all
cross-platform game. You're like, fuck. Now I'm playing with dudes on the PC, and we're gonna have a problem in this match.
But that's in my head was always the end all be all in any argument that I've ever had outside of when PS3 was outperforming the Xbox 360
and cross
titles that and
crossplay has taken this long because Sony was just scared.
There was not because to
Microsoft
open the door
was about this
to open the door for crossplay. Meant you were opening the door for exclusivity to not be a thing anymore.
And if it isn't, Sony's got way more problems.
Sony ain't got a whole lot to stand on.
I don't care what people say, because at that point, Sony's remaining fan base will be the people that had been with Sony since PS2.
And
like my brother, that's had a Sony, and they just will refuse to do anything else because they've gotten so used to it and the controller, and they just can't switch, and they're just, it's like, it, you know, it, not for nothing, it's the same. Sony, Nike, and Apple people all fall into the same bubble.
I would.
So it's just, that's what they if you meet a Sony person, there's a huge chance that they're also one of the two other things. They only buy Nike stuff, or they have an Apple. They have an iPhone and have a Mac and a MacBook, and their whole life is everything. One or the other, or they only buy Nike. Though two of those three things go together. I did, like my brother is all three. So
there has to be a poll.
Two of those three things always go together.
There's got to be a poll. There's definitely got to be a poll at some point we got to do, because I have to.
And you can make the argument that the most diverse people are the Nintendo people.
100%.
Because they do everything. They're like, whatever, we got this and we got that and this. I've tried this and.
Like, Nintendo people was sticking around through the Wii and Wii U phase.
Man. That was a tough phase to get through. But the Wii U was what the Switch was supposed to be, but they got there eventually.
They did.
But, again, Series X coming next year. My prediction is Series X 600, PS5 500, Lockhart tentatively, Series S 400. And if it comes out that way, you heard it here first, officially. And if it doesn't, then I was entitled to be wrong. So
you gave us no room to think anything otherwise. At all.
So that's it. I love it. Microsoft. I'm here for it. I'm here for the
power tower. That's what I'm calling it.
I like that.
It's a
We can
power
make that a
towel.
thing. We're gonna have to trademark that though, because
Yikes! I
it just
shouldn't
gets
have
out
said
that you
I
shouldn't.
I
Should have wrote that down. That's
Yeah, I
gold.
should've.
See, but now nobody else can say it because we have video evidence.
We
so
do.
people,
We do.
you know, don't steal our shit. So that's what this boils down to. We're cornering that. That phrase is locked down now.
Yo, power towel.
I like it. I like it. So that's it. So that's been the first episode of the Flash and Dash podcast. Check out Sports Gaming Anonymous on Facebook and on other platforms.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
On Twitter too?
Mm.
Oh wow.
SGA Anon.
Oh, okay. That's dope. See,
Um,
I'm an admin and I'm not even in the know.
Listen. We're just getting started. We're just trying to build the foundation of
We
what
got a couple episodes on Spotify too. Of our
we do.
podcast.
We definitely do
We have a podcast, the SGA Sports Gaming Anonymous podcast. You can check that out. We haven't uploaded anything for a while, but more episodes of that coming. Just like more episodes of the Flash and Dash podcast.
Well, we'll definitely take a dive into some earlier titles that I know nothing about that last apparently maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And
We can boom, 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 boom.
nothing but shooting.
Knock
What
that
was it?
stuff
Grave Grave?
Gungrave. Gungrave.
Gungrave.
Gungrave. PS2.
Gungrave.
Don't go to GameStop because they don't sell PS2 games anymore. Maybe on their website they do. Or
Maybe.
get it from eBay.
Amazon
Get it from
probably
eBay. Amazon might have
They
it.
got everything.
Go to eStarland.com. Shout out to them because they're a great company.
Yeah, that's
Um,
yeah, that's a fact.
So, episode 1 in the books. I'm Flash,
I'm Dash.
and we will check you guys out next time.
Later.
Peace.